Have you ever stared at a skyscraper and thought, wait, why is there a giant hole in the middle? Did the architect rage quit halfway through construction? Did someone misplace an entire floor? Because some buildings really do look like they were built by a person who said, yeah, leave that chunk empty. It adds mystery. But those gaps aren't accidents. Not even the weird ones that look like someone tried to save budget by deleting a few floors off the blueprint. I'm Professor Everything, and today we'll be answering the question, why do some buildings have gaps? Right here on Explaining Everything. Let's start with the biggest reason. The wind absolutely loves bullying tall buildings. See, when you build high enough, the wind stops being a gentle breeze and starts behaving like an angry toddler pushing over a Lego tower. Strong gusts create pressure on the structure, making it sway, which is normal. Skyscrapers are designed to move a little, but when they get too tall, too thin, or too exposed, wind becomes a problem. Enter sky gaps, giant holes built into towers so wind can pass through instead of slamming into the building like a WWE wrestler. These gaps reduce wind load and make tall towers stable. They're basically architectural breathing holes. Without them, your 80-story tower becomes a cocktail straw, waving in the wind. With them, it becomes calmer, sturdier, and less likely to make its residents motion sick. Yes, that's a real thing. People in overly flexible skyscrapers can feel nauseous when the building sways too much. Imagine paying millions for your luxury condo, and it comes with built-in seasickness. No thanks. But with strategic gaps, wind flows through, buildings behave, and millionaires don't throw up on their designer carpets. Gaps 1. Wind 0. To make it even better, these gaps don't reduce floor count. They're often counted as mechanical flaws, which means developers don't lose money and the building stays safe without risking aesthetic tragedy. Now, let's talk about something less violent, but equally annoying. Heat. Every material on Earth expands when it gets warm. Buildings, oh, they absolutely feel the heat. Concrete expands. Metal expands. Glass expands. Your patience expands and contracts depending on the weather too, probably. So, architects include expansion gaps. Small spaces between sections of a building that allow the structure to stretch slightly without cracking like a dry cookie. You know those thin vertical lines or joints on bridges and buildings? Those are expansion joints. Without them, buildings would literally tear themselves apart in hot weather. Imagine a skyscraper waking up on a 40°C day like, I just need a little space or I'll explode. And the gap is like, go ahead, buddy, breathe, I got you. These aren't giant gaps like the wind ones. They're usually slim, subtle, and hidden. But they're crucial. Engineers don't add them for aesthetics. They add them so your office building doesn't experience dramatic midlife cracks. And hey, credit where credit's due. Gaps are the unsung heroes stopping concrete from having emotional breakdowns. Believe it or not, some buildings are designed to move. Earthquakes, trains running underground, soft soil. Is the ground shrinking and expanding during heavy rain and summer heat? Earth is a drama queen, and buildings have to adapt. So engineers design separation gaps, intentional empty spaces between buildings or sections of a structure that allow them to move independently without smashing into each other. This is called seismic separation. Why is this needed? Because two buildings shaking at different frequencies can collide like giant, expensive bumper cars. That's not ideal. Insurance companies would evaporate, so buildings get gaps, big enough to prevent building slap, as engineers unofficially call it. Yes, that's real. Picture two skyscrapers arguing, then bumping shoulders during an earthquake, like move! You move! With a structural gap, they dance safely instead of knocking chunks off each other. And here's the cool part. You rarely notice these gaps because they're covered by flexible materials, metal plates, rubber seals, hidden trim, things that maintain the illusion that it's one continuous building. A tiny gap on the outside can allow meters of movement during a strong earthquake. That's engineering magic, or engineering anxiety, depending on your perspective. Either way, it works. Some buildings include gaps because the inside needs to breathe. Tall structures with big enclosed spaces can trap heat, pressure, and even moisture. So architects add ventilation gaps or open-air floors that allow air to circulate naturally. You may have seen these in Asian super-tall towers, floors with no walls, open to the air, like a giant patio 60 stories up. Do people hang out there? No, it's windy enough to send your hat into orbit. These gaps help keep temperatures stable, reduce humidity, prevent pressure buildup, stop mold, condensation, and structural deterioration. Some are used as refuge floors, designated safe zones during emergencies. Others are purely mechanical, hosting equipment that needs open airflow, like giant fans or cooling systems. And yes, some buildings add gaps, partly because they look cool. Architects get bored, too, okay? So, why do some buildings have gaps? Because those openings keep skyscrapers stable, cool, and safe when the world throws wind, heat, and movement their way. They're not missing pieces. They're smart engineering choices disguised as giant architectural air vents. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.